Welcome back, brothers and sisters. It is 11:06 a.m. Central Standard Time on February 2nd, 2022. Here we are looking at Space Weather Prediction Center, NOAA.gov, and I do want to kind of go over our back pressure, something that's been intriguing me a lot lately, and I've been trying to put some things together, and I have a theory on why that might be. Now, this is actually current from today, from when we actually got that impact. You can see it's kind of lessening up on our bow shock, but the back pressure remains. There's always this back pressure, okay? And it's almost always there. Even when there's no or very, very little bow shock, there's always back pressure. And here you can actually see our geomagnetic lines, kind of come, that have come together back here. But what's causing pressure behind it on the inside of these geomagnetic lines? We know that the Earth has a geomagnetic shield. In fact, you can see it right here. You can see it, very clearly. In fact, I'll just zoom in on it. There we go. You can clearly see our geomagnetic lines, right? Well, when we get impacted, some of them will actually break off, come back around on this side, on the top and on the bottom, and they'll reconnect, and they come back into here. But we've still got all this back pressure. And I've always been intrigued, why do we always have that back pressure? It's almost always there, and I've been trying to figure out why it's doing that. Well, I just seen a video, I actually follow this gentleman, and I recommend everybody do the same. His name is Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge. Okay, and this is something that actually kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and we're going to play this. So hopefully this will actually play. But yeah, this actually explains quite a bit. So I'm gonna play this here for you, and we'll see how it goes. See if it resonates with what might be the truth.
Anybody else that wants a book signed, whatever. But I want to definitely get a chance to talk to everybody here. This is our last video for the day, guys. This is basically how to create a Stargate Portal. Now, you have to forgive me, I use a robotic voice on this because I really didn't feel like reading like 5 sheets of information.
How to open a Stargate Portal. A Stargate Portal is a man-made device which opens a doorway in space and time and enables travelers to connect to distant realms or higher dimensions. NASA has discovered that...
Now, here we are. Here's our magnetic shields, right? Okay. Coming across like this, and then, boink, crossing right here. This is where they connect, okay?
The portals exist naturally around the Earth. Accessing them with a device may therefore be much easier than first thought. Known as X-points, portals are born from the mingling of Earth's magnetic field with incoming solar winds. It is where the sun...
So if you think about it, from the solar winds snapping one of those lines, and when it comes back around to connect, bink, we have an X-point. And if you're opening a portal and things are coming through that portal, that's energy. It's going to create that back pressure because you've got energy coming through. So there's going to be back pressure. Every time that these things reconnect, there's going to have back pressure on it because a Stargate is accessible and things are coming through.
Sun and Earth become connected by an uninterrupted path. These portals open and close 12 times each day. Magnetic reconnection. Geomagnetic lines of force from the Sun and Earth crisscross and join to create the openings. X-points are where the crisscross takes place. In essence, these are wormholes in space. Pyramids have long been associated with being used as stargates for pharaohs after death. With the capacity to generate a torsion field from within its structure, pyramids can focus Earth's vibrational energies towards their apex into a beam. In 2011, Semir Osmanajek at the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun tested for infra and ultrasonic sound. An energy beam was detected that was 13 feet in radius and measured 28 kilohertz. This is the same frequency Ralph Ring discovered in his acoustical levitation experiments while in the military. Further experiments by Dr. Slobodan Mistrak from 2010 to 2012 showed that the source of the 10 kilowatt ultrasound energy beam from the pyramid of the Sun is a metallic plate beneath the pyramid, at a depth of 2,440 meters or approximately 1.86 miles. On some level, pyramids seem to operate like giant radio receivers. But instead of collecting radio frequencies, they collect Schumann frequencies from the ionosphere, a radar image of the...
Did you hear that? Schumann energies from the ionosphere. Anybody recognize how this kind of comes down and there's always a single point, kind of like what I show you guys over on windy.com, those radar anomalies from star forts?
UV coverage by the telescope in Kunming, China, shows that it forms a kind of eye at its center. This has many symbolic implications.
Eye of Ra?
As we shall see, the pyramid comes from the prefix pyre, meaning fire, and the suffix mid, meaning middle.
So once again, back over here, looking at our geospace magnetosphere, we can see the lines. So when we get our impacts and it comes back around and reconnects, it's a portal that comes from the back to the front, creating back pressure on the Earth. In my mind's eye, that's my theory on it. I think that's why we're seeing this. Now, I have not reached out to Billy Carson. I am an advocate of his. I do believe in his work. In fact, I recommend everybody come and subscribe to Billy Carson's Forbidden Knowledge. He actually does a lot of things where he actually ties the Emerald Tablets of Thoth with the Bible, with a lot of sayings, and talks about both in the, and actually brought to my eyes, reincarnation and how the Bible speaks of it many, many times. And it just boggled my mind. And being a former Mormon, knowing that when you go through a session, you get a new name. Well, when you were reincarnated, and it does say that in the Bible about, coming back and getting a new body and a new name. Well, so that connects with me. How are you going to get a new body and a new name? Well, because you were reborn into another body. You were reincarnated. So there's a lot of things that Billy Carson is really on point with and makes a lot of ties. So come on over here and check him out. Give him some love. Show him some support. Thumbs up after you watch his videos if it resonates with you. So I'm hoping that this kind of opens our eyes a little bit more to this back pressure. And, it could very possibly be something to explain it. Because, why I'll figure it out. But except for what I just learned from Billy Carson with the portals and things coming through. So hopefully this resonates with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And remember that love is the only way forward.